The Good Samaritan, a story of compassion and true righteousness. The road from Jerusalem to Jericho was a dangerous one. It was a path that wound through treacherous terrain, flanked by rocky outcroppings and dry, desolate land. This road was notorious, not just for its difficult landscape, but for the bandits who lurked in its shadows, preying on travelers who journeyed alone. On one such day, a certain man, a traveler whose name was not recorded, set out upon this road. He had business to attend to in Jericho, and though he knew the risks of traveling alone, he pressed forward with determination. Perhaps he was a merchant, carrying goods for trade. Perhaps he was a pilgrim returning from worship in Jerusalem. Whatever his reason, he walked with purpose, unaware that danger was creeping closer with every step. Out of the shadows, a group of bandits pounced. They struck with brutal force, stripping him of his clothes, beating him until he was barely conscious, and leaving him bleeding and broken by the roadside. His cries for help faded into the silence of the wilderness, and soon he lay motionless, caught between life and death. The road remained still for some time. The sun rose higher in the sky, scorching the land with its unrelenting heat. Then, in the distance, footsteps echoed against the barren rocks. A priest was making his way along the road. Clad in fine robes, he walked with the dignity of one who served in the temple, a man devoted to the law of Moses. His eyes fell upon the wounded traveler, but his steps did not slow. He saw the man's condition, bloodied, suffering, helpless, but a conflict stirred within him. To touch a dead or dying man would make him unclean, unfit to perform his religious duties until he underwent purification. He reasoned within himself that someone else would come along to help, someone not bound by the strict laws he upheld. And so, with his gaze averted, he stepped to the other side of the road and passed by. Not long after, another traveler appeared, a Levite. He too was a man of religion, one who assisted in the temple, familiar with the teachings of mercy and justice. He slowed his pace, drawing nearer to the wounded man. Perhaps he hesitated, considering his options. He saw the same suffering that the priest had seen. He heard the faint, desperate breaths, but fear gripped his heart. What if the bandits were still nearby? What if this man was merely pretending to be injured, setting a trap for those who stopped to help? Caution overpowered compassion, and like the priest before him, he too passed by on the other side. The road fell silent again. The traveler remained alone, each passing moment drawing him closer to death. But then, in the distance, another figure appeared, a Samaritan. This man was different. The Samaritans were despised by the Jewish people, seen as outsiders, unworthy of respect. Centuries of hostility had fostered division between them, and yet it was this very man, an outsider, an enemy in the eyes of many, who stopped when the others would not. He did not hesitate. Seeing the suffering of the wounded man, he was moved with compassion. Kneeling beside him, he assessed his injuries, his heart stirring with sorrow for the stranger's pain. Carefully, he poured oil and wine upon the wounds, soothing and cleansing them. Then, with hands that bore no hesitation, he bandaged the injuries, offering relief where others had passed by in neglect. But his care did not end there. He lifted the man onto his own donkey, choosing to walk beside him while the injured traveler rode. Step by step, he guided the beast toward the nearest inn, each stride a testament to the depth of his mercy. Upon reaching the inn, the Samaritan continued his work. He cared for the traveler through the night, ensuring he had water, food, and rest. When morning came, he approached the innkeeper, placing 2 denarii in his hands, enough to cover several days of lodging. "Take care of him," he said, "and whatever more you spend, I will repay when I return." And with that, he departed, trusting that the traveler would recover, knowing he had done what was right. This is the story of the Good Samaritan, story told by Jesus to a lawyer who had asked, "Who is my neighbor?" Through this parable, Jesus shattered expectations and challenged the hearts of those who heard it. Symbolism and lessons. The road from Jerusalem to Jericho represents life's journey, filled with dangers and trials. The wounded traveler symbolizes all of humanity, broken, vulnerable, and in need of rescue. The priest and the Levite represent the limitations of religion when it is devoid of true love and compassion. They had knowledge of the law but lacked the heart to act upon it. Their inaction serves as a stark warning against hollow righteousness. The Samaritan, the least expected helper, embodies true mercy. His actions demonstrate that love transcends boundaries of race, status, and past conflicts. He represents Jesus Christ himself, who came to rescue the broken, to bind up the wounds of the suffering, and to give hope to those left abandoned by the world. The oil and wine symbolize healing and restoration, much like the grace of God that soothes the wounds of sin and sorrow. The inn represents the place of refuge, a sanctuary where the weary can find rest. The 2 denarii left with the innkeeper reflect the price paid to ensure continued care, just as Jesus paid the price for humanity's redemption. Through this parable, Jesus calls his followers to be like the Samaritan, love beyond borders, to act with compassion, and to see every person as a neighbor, regardless of background or history.